This week, let's talk about atrial enlargement. Just like with our ventricles, we can hypertrophy those, we can make those bigger, more muscle mass. We can do the same thing with our atria. So, this is atrial hypertrophy. We're going to call it atrial enlargement just because that's what it's called. I'm not really sure why, but same process with the atria as with the ventricles. There's some strain on them. They're going to get bigger, more muscle mass, and we're going to see some different vectors and some weird stuff on the 12 lead. In the P wave on our 12 lead, P wave on our EKG represents atrial depolarization, so that's what we're going to focus on when looking for atrial enlargements, be they your right atrial enlargement, left atrial enlargement, or maybe both. Maybe we've got some biatrial enlargement. We're going to be focusing on the P wave. So with ventricular hypertrophy, we focused on the QRS complex because that's ventricular depolarization, so funky stuff's going to happen there. With atrial enlargements, we're going to focus on the P wave because that's atrial depolarization, and that's where our funky stuff is gonna show up when looking for atrial enlargement. So the P wave, just the P wave itself, not the PR segment or PR interval, but the P wave itself should be 0.08 seconds to about 0.11 seconds wide, and should look the same with each complex in each lead. So atrial enlargements, we are focusing on the P wave. It is obviously a lot smaller than the QRS complex, but that's what we're going to be focusing on for atrial enlargement. So you might see a P wave in one lead and maybe not another, and you're not sure if that's a P wave in lead 3, but you think you see one in lead 2. Just remember that this red line, this vertical red line, this is all happening at the same point in time. So if you see something in lead 1, you see P wave, but you're not really sure about 2 or 3, just follow that P wave down and you might be able to pick out other P waves in the other leads, and that goes for all of these leads going up and down vertically, right? Those all happen at the same time, so P waves are going to be a little bit smaller, sometimes a little bit harder to see in certain leads, but we've got 3 or 4 leads going at one time. So if you see it in one of those leads, we can just follow it up or down vertically, and you might be able to pick out the P waves in the other leads. Morphology of the P wave is going to differ based on the window you're looking through, based on the lead, the electrode that you're looking through. It's also going to vary dependent on where that pacemaker location is. We should be, hopefully, SA node up here in the right atrium, but there might be other pacemakers, and that's going to cause your P wave to look a little bit different. Might be a little bit taller, a little bit more negative. Might be upright. Might be negatively deflected. Might be biphasic. Might be short. Might be wide. It all depends on where the impulse is originating. Look at this EKG real quick. This is a great example of a wandering atrial pacemaker. So we've got these atrial impulses coming from all different areas of the atria. So we see all different looks and sizes, and in some cases, different PR intervals, of these P waves. So they kind of all look a little bit different, and they're coming from all over the place. So we're going to be paying attention to our P waves. We're going to be examining our P waves and really kind of digging into the P wave itself to get to these atrial issues and get to atrial enlargements.